Yes, madam.
Do you think you can change yourself though? Like work to improve yourself and sort of...
Yeah.
But then I wonder, I've been struggling with this myself a lot lately, trying to change myself because I feel that other people don't like certain aspects of myself, and I'm not necessarily opposed to them, but I wonder if it's worth changing them for sort of that overall greater good. What is your thoughts on that?
What are our thoughts on that? So our system of standardization, or our system of marking what is right and what is wrong, is based on the original person, who most people in the world call God. We say Krishna. So we take his standard, because everyone else's standards are subjective. In other words, like, one group of people say, well, you should be like this, and then another group of people say you be like that. So you look at Islam at the moment. Yesterday, I didn't look at the news. Were there problems yesterday? Because they were going to have all these, but did it turn into big stuff, or maybe not so big? I don't know. That's good if it did. But there's different things. So like they'll say in certain Islamic groups, the more fundamental, the more strict one, they'll say the women have to wear everything covered, only wear black, and you can only see that much of their eyes. Right? So for them, that's good. And then you go to our system, which is Indian-based, or if you go back further, technically it's called Vedic. We encourage our women to wear colours. Don't just wear black. You don't just have to, close your eyes off like that. Be feminine, be natural, be beautiful. Wear nice colours like that, but also be chaste. Cover your body. They wear sari, so they can't, wear a long skirt. Just walk around in bikinis, and so you'll get like two extremes. One people will say, well, wearing bikinis is the best thing for the woman. Right? The less she wears, the better. Right? Or if you go to the Burning Man festival in America, you've heard of that? Yeah, the Burning Man. So the best thing there is don't wear anything, or wear paint. They all paint each other, it's just paint. That's all you got on, like that. And I say, well, that's the best. And then the other people say, well, that's the worst. So it's all subjective. So we go for the original person. What's his opinion? So his opinion is, you can see on all the pictures, that's kind of the balance that he strikes. He says, be moderate. Don't go too extreme. But, it's beautiful, it's colourful, it's fun. And when for example, when the ladies wear saris, how do they feel? Or you can ask the ladies, how do you feel?
Feminine.
How do you feel?
Feminine.
Feminine? That's nice. Yeah. How else do you feel? No thoughts. Their thoughts go away. When they wear saris, they have no thought.
Feminine encapsulates it quite well, though.
It does. But, you feel like when you wear a sari, you feel festive. You feel like, this is enjoyable, it's fun, it's like you're doing something. It's like, it's like... So that's why, Krishna himself, God himself, he chooses that is the best clothes to wear. Because when you put that on, then you feel like, okay, there's something going on. It's not over the top. It's not too sexually orientated, which is the problem with Western culture these days. Everything's too sexually orientated. We dress for sex, basically. And then they wonder why we have all the problems with domestic violence and women being exploited and raped and so many things. Because they're encouraged to dress in a way which is totally disturbing to men, and men encourage it, dress like that, and then there's all these frictions, and they say, oh, why did all that happen? So if we dress in a natural way, which is still beautiful, still feminine, still, so the woman feels liberated, but at the same time, it's a little chaste, a little, moderate way, then that's the best balance. So in terms of our qualities, what we should develop in our life, and how we should live, and how we should act and behave, our measuring stick is based upon the opinion of Krishna himself. So he says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you read his teachings, he says you should have certain qualities. He says, develop this quality, that quality, that quality. Remember as you drove in on the road? So we've got 12 qualities. Do you remember any of them?
Peacefulness.
Peacefulness, yeah, it's a good one. Right? Humility, that's a good one.
Determination.
Which one?
Determination.
Determination is a nice one, yeah.
Wisdom, courage, self.
Self-defeat. You get a free meal today. You have very good memory.
Generosity.
Generosity. Free dessert.
Honesty.
Honesty, yeah, that's honesty, is there? Courage. Which one?
Compassion.
Compassion, very good.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline, very good.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
Simplicity, yeah, I've got most of them. Yeah, generosity.
Meal.
What did you say?
Free meal.
Free meal. Yeah, that's a good quality to have. Like that.
Lunch.
Lunch, yeah, hunger, like that. So these are the qualities which Krishna himself explains in the Bhagavad Gita. He lists around about 26 or so. He says they're the qualities that you should develop. So if someone's saying, oh, you should be like this or you should be like that, then go back to the original list. This is what we do. Because otherwise everything becomes completely subjective. Because one group of people on one side of the planet says, I'll be more outgoing and let go and be liberated. And the other one says, no, be much more conservative. So what does he say? That's our opinion. And, for my, best part of my life now, more than half of my life, I've lived by Krishna's teachings. And I find that it develops an inner peace and an inner satisfaction within the heart and the mind, which I very much value. And I find that, when I get too caught up in what people are thinking within this world, everyone's saying, I'll be like that, I'll be like that, that doesn't really lead to peace of mind. Because your mother wants you to be one way, and your father wants to be the opposite way, right? And then your brothers and sisters, they've all got their agenda, and then it's like all your friends, and then you go to school, and then the educational system, and everything's like, and then everyone's confused. I saw in the newspaper yesterday, one of the major newspapers, I was in Birregurra getting some ice for the festival, and I just saw that it was on the front page, and it said something about our youth being totally confused. Yeah, it was in the whole article. It's on one of the major papers yesterday. I mean, that's just because no one's got like a standard anymore. How should we all behave? Everyone, oh, you do like that, you do like that. But there should be a basic standard, and that's coming from the most intelligent source. And he's saying, okay, everyone, just act like this, develop these qualities, and you'll all be happy. So at least for me, I'm finding that's working, and I'm going to stick with it. Because I don't want to be one of the faces on front of the newspaper. Keisha was going crazy and he's like, he can't work himself out anymore. It's like, And it's true, because if I left myself to my own devices, I would have problems like that. And that's another problem with the world these days. And people, don't have a guru. Like in the Hare Krishna movement, just like these days, if you meet someone like in society, what do people say in Melbourne these days? When you meet someone, they say, which football team do you barrack for? Right? So I barrack for North Melbourne, right? I barrack for Collingwood and this one barrack, and it's like everyone identifies with that. But in the Hare Krishna movement, when we travel around the world and we meet each other, we say, who is your guru? Like that. So we have a guru, and the guru gives us like a template or an understanding of how we should live and how we should develop. Because if you just leave everything just up to yourself, which is what people do these days in modern society, they say, well, just trust yourself. You're your own guru. Look at society's a mess. So if we're all doing such a good job just listening to our inner voice will tell you anything. And your inner voice changes every day anyway. One day your inner voice is saying be like this, the next day it's saying be like that, so it's all subjective. Whereas in our movement, everything it's standardized from the beginning. So the guru is saying, you should act like this, and if you listen like that and you follow that, it comes to a state of happiness and peace, which is within. And I know myself, if I left myself up to my own devices, my life would probably, I don't know where it would go. God knows what I could do with myself. And you see society, these people wonder why I've got problems, because you've got no guidance. So we need guidance, that's the point. So it's coming from these ancient teachings, so that's why we're recommending that. And it's a problem these days, because people don't like authority these days. Hands up if you like authority. 1, 2, 3, 4. To a degree, like that. It's interesting how Hare Krishna people said they like authority. In general, people don't like authority. In general, right? So it's hard to find good authority. But if you can find good authority, good means authority based on spiritual wisdom, then your life becomes quite peaceful and quite directed. And you can navigate yourself through this crazy world as much as you can. So, does that answer what you originally asked about karma?
Go from there.